Yo, what up? Welcome back to Red Zone Lab Podcast. I am Deuce, and today we are talking contracts. We're gonna talk contract. We can look at the signings and the re-signings on the offensive side of the ball today. We're gonna put it up. And there's a little bit of other stuff to talk about. But if you're not already, please subscribe, like, share, and comment on this YouTube channel, Red Zone and the Lab 101. Join the Riddle community. Check that out. Also, the store, you want some Commanders merch, that's RZNTheLab.com. Stick with me. Let's run.
When I first stepped into RFK Stadium, I knew I'd found a home. The roar of the fans, the energy of the city, united as one, was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. RFK Stadium was the stage for the world's greatest in sports, culture, and entertainment. All in the heart of our nation's capital. It's time to revive that legacy.
Yo, welcome back to Red Zone Lab Podcast. I am Deuce. What is good? Happy Monday. Chuck, what's good with you, man?
What up? What up? Happy Monday, everybody. Back to the regular grit and grind, you
know. This is the what we call a dead period for the NFL.
It gotta be.
Right, it's not much popping, right? They tried to throw the flag football joint in there real quick. You know what I'm saying? But this is that time of year we just kind of prepping for the draft. But at the same time, something might pop up. You never know. Something might pop up. Knowing the NFL and the Commanders, something gonna pop up between now and the draft. They're not gonna let this just drag out and just have Shefty on different shows and just dropping some clickbait. Like they're gonna drop something meaningful, for sure. But the question of the day, has linebacker Jordan McGee shown you enough to not draft a middle linebacker in April? Not just with the 7th pick, but not at all. If you want to answer that question, put either a question mark or a question or QOTD, whatever it is, in front of your answer, and I will put it in the box, and we will talk about it at the end of the show. But let's get right into flag football. We're going to talk a little bit about this later, but I did want to get into this flag football thing because I want to talk about, okay, so first of all, Chuck, how would you describe flag football? How would you describe flag football?
You gotta pay attention to detail, to be honest. Like it's a very fast-paced game. There's a lot of speed going on. You know, I actually play it for like in the Army, so because that's the only thing we can play. Like we can't run around and hit each other as much as we would want to, but we can't do that. So we got to play flag, and it's real. As you saw on Saturday, it's a technique to pulling flags. Like you can't just throw your hand in there, or you're gonna jam your thumb, or you're gonna end up. A lot of times they tell the guys don't wear shorts with pockets because your thumb can get stuck in the pocket and you can end up messing up your thumb real bad, or any of your other fingers. So flag football is very detailed, fast-paced game. A lot of people think of it as a little softer, or non-contact because you're not knocking nobody's head off, but it's a lot of details, game within the game, basically.
So I remember, when I stopped playing tackle football, and my man's like, "Hey, look, man, come try out for flag football." I'm like, "Man, nah, man, man, no flag football." You know what I'm saying? Because all I know of flag football is recess, PE, gym. You know what I'm saying? Running around pulling the flag. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I kind of thought it was. So a little while went by, and actually they had this meeting. So my man was like, "Man, just come to this meeting, meet everybody, check it out." So the meeting was at Hooters, right? And this is dudes a little while ago, right? This is black, right? A little while ago, long time ago, right? So the crazy thing was, meet everybody in the joint, you know what I'm saying? So they convinced me, "Man, just come out the joint, man. I ain't like how you think it is." All right, bet. So I come out to practice trials. They have trials, whatever, right? I get out the joint and they start, I say, "Well, wait a minute." They was out that joint hitting. And I'm not talking about like what we see in tackle football. I'm talking about hit, like rap, like any of y'all ever played, like they used to call it, I don't know, contact or bump or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Elementary, junior high. That's what it was. But you hit, rap, pull a flag. You can't like take nobody down or tackle nobody. So I was like, man, it's all right. I got hooked for like 3-4 years, bro. I got hooked for and we play 8-man. So like everybody could go off for a route. You had a center, you had a 2 linemen, and you had the wide receivers and the quarterback. Everybody could go off for a route. And they usually rush for like 2-3. It just depends. It was different strategies and all that. But and we went to Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia Beach, Orlando to the championships. A whole rack of different places, different tournaments, because our main base was at Eli in DC. Anybody know who Eli is now? That they got baseball fields over there. But that's what we played at, right? And what you saw Saturday was just a glimpse of what it actually looks like. Yep. Like if you that was your first time seeing professional flag football, that was a glimpse. That was dudes playing against players that just thought flag was just like PE. Yep. They have no concept of what flag really is. Now, I ain't going deep into like RG3 was like, they're the great flag football players. They need to be respected, blah, blah. Like, I ain't doing all that. Right? You know what I'm saying? But the moves and all that stuff was doing, like, that's frequent stuff, bro. Like, they not doing all that. And like, if you go to these tournaments in these different cities, they not getting away with all that. You know what I'm saying? So and then these NFL players still under actual, they still got other jobs too, right? But like, yeah, so like for you, bro, like the whole concept of flag football, I guess the world knows now because of what happened on Saturday. Like, it's totally different than it's sort of like what I thought it was before I started playing. It's probably where most of the people are now.
See, like what I mostly played is 7-on-7. And you got the line with that. You at least got I think you gotta have like 2 on the line, or at least 1 on the line at all times through the blocking and you don't have that. You don't got to be as far back to rush. You can rush straight off the line, but that's what you got the blockers there for. So that's what I'm used to. It's sort of like setting up like a regular football play. Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like, because you got your center, and you don't have to hike it between the legs. You can hike it from the side or whatever. But that's what I'm used to. And then in that situation, you can sort of like bring out the skill players a little more, because the quarterback got a little bit more time. So those wide receivers can definitely, get active and hit you with the double moves. What we saw on Saturday, I wasn't disappointed, but it was like, okay, this is nice, but I really don't like it. Like, it feels like it's too free. Like the stuff the stuff that the USA team was doing is what I would do. Like, I would line 3 people up on the line, say hike and throw the ball as fast as I can, and just let the shifty guys do what they do. And it's like you said, like when I play, like I'm used to, because I play DB mostly, so I'm used to like a dude catch the ball. I'm not hitting you, but I'm wrapping my arms around you so you can't really like go any farther. But it's a certain way you got to do it. You can't just run up and like full-fledged wrap the guy because they're gonna call it impeding the running. So it's a certain technique you gotta have to where making
you gotta like play.
It's like you're trying to grab both the flags at the same time, but you use your arms to stop the guy. So that's what I'm used to. Like, even like when I like I don't know, certain leagues you can jam on the line and certain leagues you can't, but still like as a wide receiver, you still gotta have the technique to even like get open. So
and so like it was two different ones what I was used to, right? It was 9-man. 9-man was more contact because 9-man, like you had to have a stationary, like two stationary linemen or 3 stationary linemen. And they run like actual plays. They got like, they got the 3 linemen, they probably got like 2 tight ends because they all can go off of routes and they actually run the football. Like they run the football. And then you have 8-man, right? Which I'm used to where, like you have the 3 linemen, but they all can go off of routes and you got to hike underneath your legs. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's way different than what we saw. Way different.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of what we saw. It was cool, but I wasn't a big fan of it. Like,
so how is the actual flag Olympics though? Is it like how we saw, or is it?
I don't know if it's the same. I hope it's not.
I know Orlando, like when you go to Florida for the championships where everybody at, where you see like you see NFL stars, some NFL stars, you see some college guys that didn't make it in the NFL. Like you see a whole rack of them type people. Right. And they play like the 8-man joint. Like it's an 8-man as a 9-man. And
that makes
like,
more
a lot
sense
of times they be playing both.
I feel like the 5v5 is a little like it's too free.
Yeah, that's more like National Mall type stuff.
Yeah. Like recess,
Yeah.
But we might
that's what they was doing, right? 5x5?
5-on-5. We might have something for the little annual get together this year.
Yeah, maybe.
The basketball, we might have to switch it. I ain't glad you to play flag football. Ain't nobody want to play, man.
Because it's fun, man. Like if you actually play the sport, it's fun, man. Yeah. But yeah, so like I didn't. So of course things happen, right? And you don't want things to happen, right? Like last year, I tried to stay away from the word injury every chance I got, but I'm not doing that this year.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that this year. So I ain't worried about. So no, like of course you think about it because like that's a stickler on him right now. It's about the injuries. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the truth of what it is. But the workouts they do is way more intense than what you saw on Saturday. Like way more intense, right? You know what I'm saying? So, but the whole Burrow thing, the dude, like you can't jump. I don't know. Did they call a flag? I saw the clip. Like you can't dive at people. You can't dive at the flag. Like you can't do that. He dived at him, tackled him, pushed him down, and everything. I was like, ooh. Hey, Roger Goodell ain't gonna like that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, these dudes is out there doing whatever, man. I ain't had no I wasn't too concerned about it. But when it comes to 5, it was good saying to put the ball in the air because they play with a half field, only 50 yards, right? Like, because I guess it was just 5v5. We play whole fields, like 50 yards. I think it's not the whole field, but it's the same width. It's just like 50 yards instead of 100, something like that.
I think we did sort of the same way. But this weekend definitely showed who like the couch potatoes are, in my opinion. The people who was never really athletic like that. In my opinion, chat. In my opinion.
What's up, Smoke? Appreciate you hopping on. Clint, what's good? How you feeling? Key, what's going on, Key? Outlaw, what is good? Yeah, man. So like, it's a whole lot of hoopla, and it is more hoopla than probably what it should be, because there ain't nothing else to talk about. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing to talk about. So let's talk about if he should have or he should not have played, right? But it was good watching him throw that rock. Use them elbows to throw that rock and move around, run around. So that was definitely good for him to see, though. So shout out to that, man. I ain't mad at it.
Odell looked good too, huh? No, not gonna take the bait. All right.
Not at all. I'm surprised that wasn't a thing. I'm surprised that wasn't.
I didn't have time to be on the timeline, so. And I tried it last year, but it's all good.
All right, so today we're talking contracts. We're looking at the contracts of some of the players that we brought in this offseason, some guys that we re-signed, but today we're only doing the offensive side of the ball. We're looking at these contracts, we're doing the offensive side of the ball. Okay, we're doing the offensive side of the ball. All right, so we're gonna look at some contracts, and I also want to take a look at a couple free agents that I wouldn't mind bringing in. And we're gonna do our GM 2.0 mock, where we used the software. I forgot what it's called already. We used the software last time on our GM 1.0. We're not going to use that software this time. We're just going to kind of use PFSN. I did this yesterday. Afternoon. We're going to go through that mock. First, we're going to look at these contracts. Then I'm going to give you two players that I wouldn't mind bringing in right now. But before we go there, let's try to look at some of these contracts real quick. So I can pull it up. Let's see who we got first. I'm just gonna do it randomly. Let's do Van Jefferson. Let's look at Van Jefferson. Make a way. What's good? AP said, "Hey Bruce, I'll show you how to do this, son."
I know you're not talking about the Bruce I think you're talking about.
All right, so let's take a look at this. I gotta change my camera set. Hold up a second. Matter of fact, let me just turn the joint off. Yeah, I just turned the joint off. All right, we got Van Jefferson. All right, so we signed Van Jefferson to a 1-year deal, $1.4 million out of contract. 127.5 signing bonus, 527 guarantee, and an average salary of 1.4. Right, he's the average is just what it is because it's a 1-year deal. So but that's just part of Spots Track's language is that they use that, right? Yeah, he said, "Yes, I am, Chuck." So the Van Jefferson signing with this contract, it still doesn't give me the impression that he's automatically gonna make this team. Right, like this is not a guaranteed roster spot contract, even though I think he has a legitimate shot. Right, we need to start, and Chuck and Dog, if you're listening, we need to we need to start working on our road to 53. Right, we're gonna have 90-man depth chart, and we're gonna work to 53 as we go.
How many we got right now? Like 60, 70?
No, we got like 73, 74, I think. And I think we have about 54 million cap space.
Okay, bet.
So I mean, he knocked this out of park. Him and the cap guy, like they knocked these contracts out the park. And the dead cap for this is $500,000, right? Like I'm saying, like this is not a contract where you look at this and say, "Oh yeah, he's absolutely going to make this team." I don't see that at all with him with this 1-year deal. And look, this is his third team in 4 years, I believe. So he's 1-year dealing the rest of his career, right? Like he's 1-year dealing the rest of his career. So with this signing with Van Jefferson, I like the signing, right? I'm not mad at it. I'm not upset at it. And what happened last year with the injuries, you can't count on that, right? Like he didn't sign Robbie Chosen in April. He didn't sign him in August, right? Like the river crash wasn't expected. Chris, like these guys wasn't expected to play. You know what I'm saying? So just having a roster of 90, at least the guys that you're bringing in have some type of consistent success at some point in their careers, right? And you have to look at a lot of these signings respectfully where you believe that they're going to end up on this roster. Now, right now, you might look at this roster, you might see Van Jefferson making this team as a wide receiver 4, 5, 6, or whatever. Right? And if that is the case, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. Right? But
so?
yeah. We're in trouble because the thing about the Terry thing is that Terry played, like he didn't get injured, right? You always count on Terry playing. But this past year, he got injured and he re-injured it, right? So I'm not saying he's injury prone, but what I'm saying is it started. And we don't know where it's going because we've never had to deal with this with Terry before, even though he finished the season very healthy. We just have to see how it works out, right? We just don't know. So after Terry, what do you have? You have a whole bunch of hopes and ifs. That's what you have, right? Because none of those guys you can look at last year and say, oh, yeah, I'm comfortable with this guy being a wide receiver 2.
You said wide receiver 3?
2.
Oh, yeah, no.
Right? So now if you can't see nobody being a wide receiver 2, how can you see somebody being a wide receiver 3? You see what I'm saying? Because now whoever you thought would be a good wide receiver 3, they have to be a wide receiver 2. And then 4 got to be 3, and then 5 got to be, and so forth. Right? And if you think about it, you want your first 3 wide receivers to have had some sort of recent success. So I ask you, Chuck, outside of Terry, which one of these receivers has had recent success?
As in last year?
As in last year.
I want to say Luke, but that's really
bro, don't even worry about it, right? Like, don't even worry about it. Anybody in the chat right now, tell me who has had. Now, I'm not talking about who you think. Like, what we say, DawgTired. No what ifs. We're not doing the what ifs this off season, right? We're not doing the what ifs this off season. So tell me, people in the chat, who has had recent success last year that you can say, you know what, they can be the 2 or the 3.
I want to say Luke.
I know you want to say it, right? Because, like, you know, we got our glasses halfway on.
Yeah,
I want to say it, right? Like, I want to say, hey, Luke showed out. But the fact of the matter is 2 out of the 3 big plays were broken plays.
Hey, catch is a catch.
Yeah, catch is a catch. A catch is a catch. What's up, Chris? Chris is in the building. He say, Burke, no. Like, that's not consistent success. Like, he showed spats. Because if I switch it up and I say, which one of these receivers showed you some promise that they could be wide receiver 3 or 4? Who would you say?
That could be wide receiver 3 and 4?
Yeah, by just some of the spats that they showed you last year.
I'm definitely taking Burks. I
Yep.
got all my house money on him right now. It is what it is. Luke.
Yep.
Dyami at 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm taking, y'all ain't gonna like this, but I'm taking Van Jefferson at my 4.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
It is what it is. I like his game though.
But you see how easy it was to tell me about the hopes.
Yeah.
right. Like, but that's what we have. Like, that's what even if we go to the wide receiver, if we go to the running back room, every last one of those guys have gave you some type of consistent success last year. Except McNichols has spat stuff, right? So we're not gonna say him.
Yeah,
but Ford, Rashaad White, and Bill all gave you some type of consistent success last year. that you can say, oh yeah, that's 1, 2, and 3. No doubt about it. And you got a couple battles there. You might got a 1-1-2 battle, maybe 2-3 battle for sure. But you can't do that in the wide receiver room. Yeah. But if that one guy is there, you can't pass him up. But if they do, you cannot just because you want that 4-letter word, that 4-letter last name, doesn't mean that the wide receiver room doesn't mean the other 4-letter or 5-letter, whoever you want, whatever the case may be, wide receiver. Like, don't say, oh, the wide receiver room got Terry, they good, so we can go get love. Like, no, that's not the case at all. Like, be firm on both points. The wide receiver room needs another weapon or another proven weapon or another projected proven weapon compared to the running back room. You can go into week 1 with this running back room saying that I got 3 guys that have done it recently. You cannot do that in the wide receiver room. But don't diminish the wide receiver room because you want to strengthen
the running back room.
The running back room. I mean, we ain't got Lane messed up. I mean, we ain't.
I don't have nothing. He better catch punts and go on about his day. He got to prove to me, man.
Chris, I appreciate you hopping in on X and everybody that's in on X. If you do have a YouTube, or you can subscribe to the YouTube, go to my channel, look on the timeline, tap in and subscribe to the channel. I will absolutely appreciate it. You can chop in with us over there. If not, if you don't have one, don't want to go through the hassle, and you stay right there on X, we'll finish chopping it up. He got Terry, wide receiver 1, Burks, wide receiver 3, and then the rest are other. Even like, if we're being honest about Treylon Burks, he made like three or four good plays.
Yeah, but I don't know why they kept the plays he was given was like sort of childish. Like,
but I get it. Like, it's the what it, like, if they would have did this better, they could have done this. If they would have gave this opportunity, I get that part. Right? Like, that's why that's why we have to do the hope. Because the thing is, what if they was trying to do it and he just wasn't? I mean, you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, Debo's still out there. Lane had more yards than Luke. Also had more drops, but that's not the point. He seemed to step slow. Honestly, Burks is a jag with potential. That P word gets coaches and GMs fired. But that's what we got behind Terry, a whole bunch of potential. But what we do know about Lane and Luke is that Lane is a dynamic punt returner.
Yeah.
Right? So it will be hard to replace him unless they draft somebody that can do the same thing.
Lane could have had a massive highlight reel last year. People would have just caught the ball.
Most definitely. Insane. Right? But the flip side with Luke, bro, the kick return team, the blocking was outstanding. I'm still accrediting that to them mostly, but at the same time, Luke still was able to find the lanes, even though it took him forever to get there. He still got there. So do I think that I can hang this kick returner banner on him? No, I can't. Because if Terry didn't go down, Debo probably would have still been a kick return for the whole year. All right. If Noah and Terry didn't go down. But we'll see. Yeah, hopeful for sure. Lane's PR1, wide receiver 5-6. We have Stephon Diggs. We're gonna talk about that later. Special teams, special all year. All right, let's look at another. Let's get some others in here. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me add. Hold on a second. All right, we got Van. let's get some more in here. What are we gonna do next? Let's just get a few. I'm gonna delete some of these jokes. We got a rack of these jokes today. All right, the Chig deal. I like the Chig deal. Like 3-year, $27 million contract with the Commanders, $7 million signing bonus, 16.7 guaranteed, and an average salary of $9 million per year. This was a good deal, great deal. And I like we talked about free agency prior to actually free agent. We talked about the tight ends, and Chig was always my number one, not because I thought he was more talented than Pitts and Likely. It was just that I thought he could do some of the same things, maybe not at the high level as they could, right? And I like the way he runs, right? And I also thought he would be cheaper by still giving us a high upside at that position. So I'm glad that they were able to do this. And the cap hit this year coming up is only $5 million, right? And a lot of the deals, when we go through and we notice these multi-year deals and that extension for Tunsil, 2026 cap is extremely low. The reason why we still have $54 million, which is also a reason why I still think there's another move to be had. What you think, man?
Yeah, I like him. I think that's what we've been missing in the tight end room. The money is good also, but this is what we've been needing, like in the tight end room. Like Bates is cool. We know what he there for. He there to block, right? Bates can catch the ball, but Bates can't get open fast. Like it takes him years to like run an out route.
Yeah.
Sennett is what he is, right? Yeah. Hopefully he pans out. Like that's our best case scenario is for Sennett to somehow break out, split the reps, and have a breakout year, right? And then the Chig guy, you know, he posted up with the Japanese fit and the sword. So hopefully he can get in there and make some magic, man. But I like him. I like his tape. He seems like a pretty fast guy. So we can sort of see what the offense is leaning towards with speed. So I like it. And not a big cap hit, like you said, for now.
Man, listen, man. Jacoy Brooks got hurt in practice, right? He played one game, I think, last year. He had number 88. It looked sweet. Like when I saw him on the field live, it looked sweet. 88 looked sweet. Right? But like he had an opportunity, right? Like we had all these injuries and still, but was it the coaching? We'll find out. Right? You got Wes Welk on that side of the ball now. So we'll see how that works out, right? But I'm still at AP for how they doing. I don't. Okay, so yeah, I know. But back to this contract, right? So you got 2 years to prove that you worth the money that you've got, or you get an extension, right? Because after the second year, we can cut ties. $2 million on the dead cap is nothing, especially when 2028 come around. The cap is probably going to skyrocket. So $2 million dead cap not going to do pretty much nothing. So a lot of these contracts are front loaded. Right, he has no void years. This is a great structured contract. I really like this contract, and I really like what he's going to potentially bring. Right, you do want to see more of the precise route running, but at the same time, I'm getting away from route running, and I'm more like just get open. Yeah, like if you can get open, to me, separation is more important than being a precise route runner. Right, like get the separation, because if you could get the separation, then like just get on one accord with your quarterback and make things. You don't have to be like Henry Ellert wasn't getting separation off of talent, so he had to run nuance and he had to be an elite route runner to get open for them 5-yard outs. You know what I'm saying? So like just get open, and he works the middle of the field very well. Right, he gets a lot of yards after contact. Right, he's able to beat the guys that he should beat, like the middle linebackers. That's a step slow. Those smaller nickel backs or those smaller safeties, he's able to create separation. Right, he can run the wheel route, he can run the seam route, he can run across, he could do all of those things. So I'm very encouraged by him. When it comes, no, I'm not pivoting. AP went Bruce Wayne in free agent. Yeah, he got his man, bro. He got him. I'm not pivoting. I'm not pivoting. But what I'm saying is, like I've been saying all off season, is that he was drafted to play a specific position in a specific scheme that they did not deploy him in doing. But now it looks like that they are. Where he's more effective is out of the backfield from that H-back, fullback type position, shifting to a flex tight end, those type, not lining, not in line. Right? If you watch his Kansas State tape, that's where he's motivated. Even some of his major his long run breaking blocks that he had last year was him coming out of the backfield or shifting or motioning. Like that's where he's best at. So hashtag Pro Bowl fullback Senate 2026. All right, McNichols. Whatever, right? Like this deal doesn't tell me he's making a team either, right? The same with Van Jefferson. Ultimately guaranteed just over $500,000.
Right.
1 year deal. Dead cap the same as the guaranteed. He can absolutely, make up to the 1.4, about making the roster, playing in the games, getting that week by week check, right? With the salary. So this doesn't tell me he's making a team, right? But I like this signing because he showed a lot last year. He understands not so much because we don't know what the system is going to look like, but on the flip side, they're going to keep some things that worked, right? I'm pretty sure about that. So it's good to have him back. I think he fits the running back room nicely. They have 4 right now. I think they're going to go into camp with 6, right? And that's going to be 2 younger guys. I don't think they're going back to the free agent pool for any more running backs, right? Prior to us, I mean, he was on like 6 teams in 6 years, right? But he's had some little stability here, and that's probably more so what he went at. And his market probably wasn't nothing, right? So he comes back here. I like it on this 1 year deal. But that's pretty much all you can say about Jeremy McNichols, man. Like I don't really think, even you can look at the room and say, hey, him and Jerome Ford, that could be a good camp battle, and that's what you want. Like every position group, you shouldn't go into camp saying, oh yeah, I know this person is not going to make it. I don't want any of those players on my team. Like he has an outside chance of getting on this roster and battling with Jerome Ford, even though he has the advantage of age and all that other stuff Jerome Ford does. We're going to talk about him in a little bit. But where you at with Jeremy McNichols?
I mean, I'd keep him. I don't see no reason to cut him in the summer. Productive guy when he gets a chance. I don't think he's a guy that does well with a lot of snaps. It's sort of weird. Like the less snaps that he gets, the better his production is. But I'd keep him around.
McNichols is the best pass pro we got right now. So I'm like, well, I think Rashaad White is better. But it's like it's not, and also Jerome Ford is really good too. Like we did the film cut up with that last week. Like all 3 of those guys, all 3 of those guys is really good at pass pro. Really good. I would be comfortable with those guys, any one of those guys, and pass pro. All right, everybody's favorite, Dyami Brown. Everybody's favorite, Dyami Brown. Adam said, hey, look, man, I told you last year, take this 2.5, right? He go out there to Jacksonville and he get 10 million and he do absolutely the same thing that he's been doing here the last 4 years. Shout out to Jacksonville, right? He come back here, AP say, look, last year was 2.5, this year is 1.7. What you want to do? You don't want to go nowhere else. You want to play with Jaden, right? You want to go get another $10 million contract next year, right? Like, I'm not mad at Dyami playing. Like, I'm not. If somebody offered me $10 million on a 1-year contract, then yeah, right? Because my NFL career is really on a thread. So what that $10 million contract did for me last year, it got me $1.7 million this year. And again, he only got $250,000 signing bonus. This is not I am making this roster contract at all. The dead cap is $250. But hey, Dyami is back. Are you excited about Dyami being back?
You know what? I am.
308 is crazy.
I am. I'm happy for him, bro. Like, let's run it back, man. Are you gonna get your number back? No, but let's run it back. Let's see, because now to me, Jalen Lane is Dyami Brown. You know, that's besides the punt returning skills, that's what Jalen Lane showed me last year, is that he's just baby Dyami Brown. So hopefully Dyami Brown is not still the same old Dyami Brown, and he can be playoff Dyami Brown all the time. So I like it, man. Let's give it a shot. Hopefully he don't get outplayed by Van Jefferson. But if he does, that's a win-win for me. Either way, I'm gonna win. So.
Oh yeah, we're definitely giving him a shot. No doubt at all. He's going to get a shot, right? Chris Paul. So like, what the funny thing about Chris Paul is, prior to free agency, Spot Track had his value at $7 million, right? Had his value at $7 million. A few weeks later, Jeremy Fowler, and he's connected with a lot of agents. They put out there that the Commanders is going to lose him. He's going to have a heavy market, like putting his name out there, right? Blah, 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 right? His market is $8 to $12 million. 16 O-linemen are signed before he is. 16. Let me go back. 16 offensive guards are signed before him. 16 of them. And about 4 or 5, I think he was like 4 or 5 as far as rankings. The 3 guys in front of him got 10 plus, right? A couple guys below him got just under 10. A few more guys got between 6, 7, and everybody else, the last 4 signings or whatever, got minimum year deals. What happened, bro? Like, did his agent size him? I wonder, because this is what I think happened. I think the Commanders went to him with a number, and I wonder if it was a multi-year deal. He was like, nah, I'm going to go see what's out there. And they're like, all right, cool. Go see what's out there, and then come back, and then we'll work something out. They probably think he's going to come back with a number for multiple years. The last straw, he said he wants to run it back, get back to the playoffs. He wants to play alongside Laremy Tunsil. This was Friday, right? After Laremy Tunsil's, after the news broke about his extension. The same time after that, Miami signed a guard center. Because the thing is he'll probably take less money if he's not getting what he wants on the market to go play with his brother in Miami. Miami's like, nah. So what else you gonna do? You got to go back to Adam. Hey, look, man. This is it. Bro, he got $3 million contract. It's pretty much fully guaranteed, right? It's 2.5 million guaranteed out of the 3 years. But I wonder how much money he lost. I know it's not no Dennis Schroeder Lakers type thing, right? Like I hope it's not that.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Because like it can't come back. Like you can't come back to that team. I mean, Schroeder came back via trade a couple years later, right? But you can't come directly back to that team. That team that was probably about to offer you $7 a year, and you come back and you take $3 on a 1-year deal. Then you could try to prove yourself to get back out there. Oh no, man. Let me see. Do you think agents put that type of info out to try to drum? Yeah, almost definitely. No doubt about it. 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 But I agree that Dyami and Van are competing with each other, and they would both need to look like, and both of them could get cut. Like that's the crazy. They both can make the team, and they both could get cut. These players gonna learn.
I don't see how Lane is better. I haven't seen nothing that is saying Lane is better.
It's crazy, man. As much as people don't like PFF, I'm sure the teams in the league saw that one. Yeah, man. They look at those PFF numbers like the teams live it. We love analytics. Like we got PFF all on our mock draft flyers, thumbnails. You know what I'm saying? So we know the Commanders is all about PFF. And they probably are with spot tracking over the cap and the market values and what everybody else is doing. Right? Let's see. Andrew Wiley. Voila. I like this signing with Andrew Wiley, and I like the Allegretti signing. I like both of those signings because I'm still looking at them as depth, right? I'm looking at Andrew Wiley as depth, and 1 year, $2 million, right? 1.7 guaranteed. This is a good deal, right? Because I think he's a one dealer for the rest of his career too, right? He might be here for the rest of his career just on 1 year deals. But I don't think he's a swing tackle, right? I think he's I don't know what we would call like a right side of the line of scrimmage backup. He could back up the right guard and the right tackle, right? But I don't like him at left tackle whatsoever. That's why I think they brought back Trent Scott because Trent Scott is better left tackle than Andrew Wiley. And Trent Scott can also play guard, right? So I'm looking at this more as a depth piece. And as a depth piece, this is a great move. The Allegretti one, he might be the center on the depth chart, but I'm still looking at him as a backup center guard until I'm told otherwise. Until I'm told otherwise, right? 1.7 million dead cap was the same as a signing bonus because it's just a 1 year deal. You guys per game active bonus of $15,000. He's absolutely going to get that.
This is White.
Huh? Oh, this was Rashaad White. Yeah, shucks, I thought this was I thought this was
I was reading it. I was like, hold on.
I thought this was Andrew Wiley. Hold on a second.
Do your job, dog. No.
I thought this was Andrew Wiley. Hold on. I had the wrong name on there. Hold on. I got Wiley. Hold up. I got Wiley somewhere. I'll pull out Wiley in a minute. Maybe we can't bring this back. Hold up. I know I got it on here. I know he sent it to me.
Okay, well, why are you searching?
And the funny thing was that's the first one that I downloaded too.
Do a little intermission commercial break while you searching for it. Hey, y'all, March Madness is going on right now. We got Vanderbilt versus Illinois, and we got South Carolina versus USC, University of Southern California. So after the pod, make sure y'all tune into that. And then when we hit the corner, I'll give y'all some updates too.
All right, let's go back. All right, here we go. Andrew Wiley. There it is. All right, he got a 2 year deal too. All right, hold up. Let me get back. All right, let's figure this out. Let's get back. Let's go back to it. We come back to Rashaad. We're gonna do the real Wiley this time. That was a bit.
Right.
That was a bit. Making sure y'all on y'all toes.
Make sure y'all awake, man.
Making sure y'all on y'all toes. He's a Wiley. He's definitely all right. So here's Andrew Wiley, 2 years, 7.5. And listen, like I think this deal is good too, right? It gets 3.7 at sign. Now, yeah, this looks more like it, right? This is more like it. So when I saw it the first time, I was like, yeah, like, but this is more like a backup, a swing tackle, right? Which I don't think he's swinging on both sides. Oh yeah, pause. That didn't sound right. I think he's going to play guard and tackle right side, right? I don't think he's going to do anything on the left side. Maybe left guard, right? But I think they're pretty solidified over there until otherwise. It still has to shake out, right? But 4.6 million guaranteed. He gets 3.7 annually, right? That's his AAV is 3.7. And he got small dead caps. He has a $2 million dead cap this year, $400,000 dead cap next year, right? So that part of the contract is not an issue, right? So he's not. It's not like we have to keep him or we're going to lose a lot of money if we release him. He don't have any void years. There's no need to do void years, right? The most of his biggest cap hit again is going to be 2027. Right. So that's more like a backload of a contract. 3.2 this year, 4.3 next year. There's not two big cap hits. He's going to be 33 years old next year. This is a good depth piece to keep around for the next couple of years to be a backup, right? If you're expecting him to play major minutes, then you're going to be in trouble, right? You don't want him playing major minutes if you don't have to. Like, this is a type of player that helps build your team. It provides depth. Right. And if you need a spot starter like what he did for Cosme last year to play 3 to 5 games, that's it. Right. That's all we want him to be. Right. And if he can do that, he's definitely going to be on this team for the next couple of years. So I absolutely like the Andrew Wiley signing. What about you, man?
Yeah, I like it. Like you've been saying the whole time, a good depth piece, a guy that knows the system. I really think that's what they're trying to do with this offensive line. So there's not too much turnover and it's not too many mistakes. When you got guys that know the system and they know they got familiarity with each other also on that O-line, the continuity, they all can run together. I think we're at a position now where it's just a big competition how it was last year. This guy competing for this job, this guy's competing for another job. And if one guy starts slacking, like we saw last year, Dan Quinn or maybe David Blau is not afraid to pull one of those guys and put another one in the right spot. So the continuity, basically with them, been with each other for about 3 years now, 2 to 3 years now, it really adds up. It's going to help Jaden a lot. And also Jaden gets to learn, well, he probably already knows, knowing how smart he is, what guys like to do what, like which one, not to say like that, but which one of the guys is one of the weaker, offensive linemen, just in case he has to use his legs when needed. So it's a great signing. Great pickup. Way to bring him back.
For sure. And now back to Rashaad White, finally. He's the one that got the 1 year deal, $2 million. And again, just the same thing with Jeremy McNichols and also Jerome Ford. These are 1 year deals. These are not deals that tell me that they're automatically going to make this team. Even though I absolutely believe Rashaad White is going to make this team, but he's not guaranteed to make this team. He's 1 year deal, $1.7 million dead cap, right? $400,000 signing bonus. His market value, I think, was like $6 million, right? He said this wasn't the first team. I think he really wanted to go back to Tampa Bay. But if everybody had, and I don't know if, him keep sweating his way here played a role in teams, looking to bring him on or sign him or have interest in him. Like, I don't know, but he absolutely keeps sweating his way here. And Adam Peters is like, look, I can wait on C-Rod to see what he gonna do. And Rashaad, he wants to be here. So he gonna wait right over there. Right. So when it comes to this contract, it's gonna be, when we look at this at the end of the year, it's gonna be Rashaad White probably versus C-Rod. Right. And I absolutely think that Rashaad White is going to outplay this contract. My hope is, and just based off of his success this previous year, previous couple of years, I think he's going to outplay this $2 million contract. Begging worse. Oh man, that $2 million is insane. I can't. Well, whatever.
Ain't Dyami contract bigger?
No, Dyami got 1 year, 1.7.
Oh, okay.
He got 1 year, one. I mean, even C-Rod, where C-Rod got 2 at 10 years, 5.5 guaranteed, and White has had way more production than him over the last 4 years.
I don't know. That might be alluding to something, man. He may not be around again. This might be like a hey, come play with your friend and then go on about your business type thing.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be approved. I think he's definitely gonna make more money. He can make more money here if you go out there and really perform in the role that they're giving. Mariota. I had a feeling that Mariota would be gone, right? But I think what happened was there were more quarterbacks available on the market than what he anticipated. Or I ain't gonna say he anticipated, but what we anticipated, right? You got, I mean, you got Kirk Cousins got released, Kyler Murray got released,
Tua got cut.
Tua got released.
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis was still out there. Aaron Rodgers was still out there. Derek Carr was thinking about coming back. Daniel Jones was getting paid. So like all these players that you probably didn't expect to be there, because he said even at the end of the year presser, he was like, man, I got that itch. Like I like, he played more games than what, like he got that itch. He was probably trying to come back. He could have went to the Jets, you know what I'm saying? Like, and played and been a bridge quarterback, but he probably saw what was out. He's like, man, I ain't gonna be waiting on them. I'm gonna go ahead and go back. And he's back. Right? 1 year, $7 million, $5 million signing bonus. 6.3 guarantee that sign. The rest of it is going to come from per game acting bonuses. And he has incentives that can get him up to $4 million. Right. So that's probably, games played, time played, playoff, whatever the case may be. We'll look at those incentives later. Right. I don't think he absolutely makes this team. He got a dead cap of 6.3. And he's definitely going to make the team. And I like this. I like having Marcus there. His third year with Jaden. I like their relationship. I like the way they bounce things off of each other. So I absolutely love this hiring. This re-signing. What you think?
Yeah, I like it, man. Why not? Why not run it back? It's like you said, he saw the quarterbacks that was out there, and he was like, "Well, maybe." I mean, I thought he maybe could have ran it back with Atlanta, maybe the Jets, but a lot of people.
No, he quit on them. He quit on them. He definitely wasn't going back to them. He quit on them.
Different head coach. I mean, not the head coach you would probably want after seeing what he did with all his quarterbacks last year. So, yeah, maybe that's not a good destination. But the Jets, I don't think will be a favorable destination for anybody for at least the next 2 years. Same thing like Miami. They're probably going to blow everything up. They've already been trying to. They're going to do a complete blow up soon, unless Malik Willis can get down there and take the reins and do something crazy. Let's see. Indianapolis, Daniel Jones will get healthy, and they'll run it back. We'll see how far that goes. The Chiefs, I guess, had an open slot until Justin Fields took that position. But Mariota was already signed by then, so I think it's a good signing, man. Why not run it back? Why not? He likes it here a lot. You can tell he likes it here. Hey, if we go back to how we were in 2024, and we go back to blowing guys out, he'll get some playing time. Maybe a quarter here or there, a couple minutes. Stretch your legs a little bit. We already got the playoffs locked in.
And this is so Laremy Tunsil is the biggest contract on offensive side of the ball. 2 years extension, $60 million. So he's the first $30 million offensive lineman, right? He was the first 20, he's the first 25, and now he's the first 30 at AAV, right? Shout out to Laremy Tunsil. I like this deal too, and more so the signing bonus, right? What they're willing to pay up, right? $32.5 million, guaranteed 52. So he's getting $53 million guaranteed out of that 60. Right. And it says total guarantees is 61.5 because they got some void years on the back end, right? Which he's not going to see. Right. But they're still going to be a dead cap. Right. And that's the one negative thing about this contract is that 2029, right when Jaden contract is kind of coming into play. But it'll be like the first year or just the fifth year or whatever. It's gonna be 24, almost $25 million on a dead cap for Tunsil, right? Even if they extend him, they're still going to have to. That dead cap is still going to be there because all they did was the guarantees. They just kind of spreaded them out, right? So that's not part of an extended contract. That's part of what he just did. So that money's going to be dead cap anyhow, right? But outside of that, this year, $12 million out of cap hit. Next year, 18. 2028, like I think after the 2027, I think he might be the first $35 million tackle. Right? If he's still playing at a high level, right? Because there's no way we're going to play with his cap hit at $42 million. There's no way. I'll be surprised. But maybe, right? I would have said no way they paying on this $28 million, but they doing it now. And in 3 years from now, the cap is probably going to be $400 million. So who knows, right? But just from what it's looking now, that's 12% of the cap, right? So like, I just can't see that happening. But outside of the immediate, our cap health is going to be really, really good over the next couple of years. And we have to hit on these draft picks, because once a lot of these deals and these dead caps and all that stuff start coming in, we got to make a decision, man. Are we going to keep extending these guys, or did we draft guys that's ready to go now? We're going to have to make those decisions. But all in all, they had to bring Tunsil back. It's no, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had to bring him back. They had to, he gave up 3 picks, I think. Sent away 3 picks, and 2 and 4 this year. So he absolutely had to get this deal done. And I think he had to get it done sooner rather than later, right? I wanted it done Super Bowl week and then Combine week, but it got done the first week of free agency, and you don't have anything left. Like, you don't have anything over your head right now from what we know about people that want extensions. I'm sure some extensions are wanted, right? And we'll see how this play out, right? We got a few people in 1-year deals. Dorrance Armstrong, Louvu, right? He already got rid of what's the center name? Tyler Biadasz, right? So, but you do have some guys. Those guys are on multi-year deals. I mean, you got Payne. So we'll see what all this looks like when OTAs kick up. Because when OTAs kick up, that's when this stuff starts to come out. We'll see if we got any disgruntled players that want to be extended, right? I mean, Cosme, well, we ain't heard nothing about him, right? He just kept his head down. He ended up getting extended right before the season starts. So we just got to see what that looks like with these players that's under, that's coming into 1-year deals. All right, remember the question of the day. The question of the day, and when you do it, make sure you put question in front or a question mark or whatever. Has linebacker Jordan McGee shown you enough to not draft a middle linebacker in April? Not just pick 7, but throughout the whole draft. And we'll put it in the star box, and we'll come back to it a little later. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do. Please like, share, comment. I don't know if it's a thumbs up or it's a heart, so please like. Red Zone and Lab 101 on YouTube. Join the Riddle community, which is also in the chat. Is pinned to the chat if you want to join the community. If you want some Commanders gear, redzoneinthelab.com. Go ahead and check it out. All right, let's get to this mock. 1.0. Get to this mock 1.0.
Oh boy.
I do want to give you all 2 of my favorite players. I'm gonna say favorite players. 2 players that I would not mind signing. And I know I've been back and forth with Stephon Diggs. My hesitation with Stephon. First of all, I need you to take care of whatever these legal issues you got. I need you to focus on that. The second thing is him being home is going to be a huge distraction. I know that. Right? Like, I know that. But outside of the off-field stuff, which is the concern for him, which I think is the concern for any team that wants to sign, which is the reason why the Patriots probably released him. Right? Because his issues could have been resolved or court and all that during the playoffs, but there's like, nah, they pushed it back. Whatever. So now I think it's like in a few weeks. He get 30,000 yards, 85 catches last year, a few touchdowns. He played really well, right? I mean, they talk about him being a leader in a locker room, some of the younger guys, right? He still ain't look like he lost a step. He was still balling out. He was still playing hard. Like he did all of those things. He really helped Drake May grow, like all of those things, right? And if you had the opportunity to bring him in, the only thing that will prevent them from doing that is probably the off-season stuff. So I don't know, like we can talk about the Brandon Ayuk thing all day long, right? You still got Juan Jennings out there, you still got Debo out there, and you got Stephon Diggs out there, right? Out of those 4 guys, pick one, not both. I don't need 2 out of that bunch. I mean, what y'all think, chat? Like, pick one of these dudes, right? Because I just want to get a wide receiver day 1 or day 2. I need somebody that's going to run with Jaden. And if you would tell me, well, it's going to be Ayuk, I would be okay with that. And maybe Ayuk and one of the other guys, but I don't know where Ayuk is right now.
Literally.
I don't know if I can count on him to run with Jaden for the next 3 to 5 years. So I have to kind of put him in a category with the other 3. If I just pick one. Like, I don't know what you think, man.
Yeah, I'm the same way about Diggs, man. Like, please fix what you got going on, brother. I know the Patriots, how that organization is. They'll only tolerate but so much because they did sort of the same thing with Cam Newton. But like, come on, bro. Like, he has a lot. Like, I ain't even gonna mention anything, but he got a lot going on, brother. Like, just please fix what you got going on, reset, and then I wouldn't mind. But like, I just got a thing. Like, if we gonna sign Diggs, why can't we sign Odell? But I'm let it go. I'm let it go. And then Clowney, and then Diggs. It's like you said. I don't know. I feel like we can just, collect all the Pokemon cards, man. Bring out
the room would be much better than it was last year.
Yeah, because then we can just keep pushing people down. Like, if I got Terry, Ayuk, Diggs, and then I throw in a Traylon Burks just because, then I throw in a Dyami or a Jalen Lane just go get a deep ball every now and then. But Diggs can go get a deep ball, so I really don't need, Lane or Dyami. If Diggs can go, Ayuk, like, I'm cool with it. We'll probably have to limit his time at Rose Bar. You can only go there probably once a month. That's it.
Man, I join twice a week.
But then, like, I'm at the point now where I feel like we got enough to just play around a little bit with, like, we can do some Madden stuff. Like, we can sign Diggs, and then ain't nobody biting the bullet on Debo. So, hey, throw another little 1-year deal out.
Why not? They had the oldest wide receiver room in the league. Why not?
Yeah, let's let's get all the Pokemon cards, man.
We'll get younger next year, right?
But we'll have dogs. We'll have a bunch of old dogs.
Yeah,
and then Cloudy, he killed us last year. Like, maybe was that his best game of the season against us? Probably.
I like Clowney, bro. Like, I think my thing with Clowney is I've always wanted him on this team. He done played on like 6 teams. He done played on like 6 teams or something, bro. But like every offseason, bring in Clowney. I'm gonna do it again this year. Right? He had 8.5 sacks, 32 pressures last year, right? Yeah. Like, and the thing with the room now is that we have young guys leading the room, right? We have younger guys leading the room, so you want to have guys bring in, if you want to add some depth guys, that's cool. And even those that's not guaranteed roster spots, like just to come in and push the other guys. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather have him than John Baptiste. I'm just gonna be honest with, like, put John Baptiste on the practice squad. You know what I'm saying? So I really like him. I think it'd be 33, 34, something like 33. He's gonna be 33 and going into the season. I wouldn't look for him to play a major role, but just to be part of the depth and the rotation, especially when we need to go 5 down linemen. Like, I think he'll be an absolute asset. He should be in the Deion territory by now. I gotta let that one lie, Deuce. But he played really well last year, right? But all in all, man, I don't think he comes here, but just talking about and just what's out there, I wouldn't mind bringing them in for sure. All right, that's GM 2.0 free agents. All right, this is the fun part. This is where I really wanted to get to the draft. All right, so this is how the mock draft played out. This is Red Zone in the Lab mock draft 1.0. Right? Well, it's actually 2.0. The first one was pre-draft. We did the whole GM thing. I don't even know what that one is at, right? So, but anyhow, this one, right? So this is what happened. Now, this is PFSN, right? 7-round consensus. And what consensus is, when you choose consensus, is that nationally, whoever the people that part of this, whatever, the consensus of their big boards or whatever the case may be, they put them all together and they shoot out what the consensus is. One thing that I tried to do is trade for BTJ. I tried 2/3. I tried third this year, second. I did some pick swap. I tried a lot. And even though the value of the trade was at least 30 points in their favor, they still declined it. Right? It was about to make me force trade type thing, right? But I was like, all right, cool. And I tried like 5 or 6 different things. But no, we're not making way. We're not bringing this back and got back. No, we're not bringing back.
I don't know, man.
No, sir. We're not bringing back Von Miller. But when it comes to BTJ, like it's a no-go. Like I tried different trades. I wasn't giving up a first this year. I wasn't giving up a first or second next year. Right. And if I did 2/3 at one point and I tried to pick swap, like pick like round 5, they was like, no, it's not happening. So I was like, all right, cool. So I just moved off of it. So this is the trade. This is what happened, right? The Saints moved up one spot. So the Saints moved up from 8 to 7. And they took Mekhi Lemon. Right? So, and I got what did I get? I think 30. I think they only, let me see. I traded away 8. I traded away 71. Pick 180. Pick 7 and 187. Okay, so pick 7 and 187 was to the Saints for 41 and 10. Is that what that was? No, it couldn't have been. Because I moved from from 8 to 10 with the Bengals. And I gave them pick 8 and 71. They gave me 4. Okay, so the Bengals was pick 8 and 71 for pick 10 and 41. And the Saints was pick 7 for 8, and then they gave me 132. That's what that was. They gave me 132. Yeah, that's what that was. They gave me 132. I will cry real tears if we trade down and Lemon gets taken without a pick because it'll allow it all over again. Yeah, like anybody we trade away from is going to be somebody's all over again. Right?
Yeah. Talk of the town.
So I like this, right? So the Saints end up the Bengals end up taking McCoy, the cornerback. Right. So at 10, Love was still there. This is a possibility. This is absolutely a possibility. Is it going to happen? I don't know. But it's a possibility. It's a mock draft. And this mock draft is real stingy. Like I said, I tried to get BTJ, but they won't nothing that I did they was going to give me BTJ. Right? So Jeremiah Love was there at 10. 41 came back around, got Chris Basil at 41. Got a center at 132. Got a guard. Now, Charlie Demings is really good. He's like 6'1", 2 something. Tall corner, man corner. Like he's really good. I really like Charlie Demings, even when I looked him up. Harold Perkins was kind of funny that everybody talking about him now because he ran like a 4.4, 4.3 or something like that today. LSU Pro Day. And he's more like he's a move linebacker. He's like Leo Chanel too. Right? And then you got Louisville. So you kind of got gonna have three linebackers that pretty much do the same thing. So you're gonna have to make some decisions. Like Leo Chanel played Mike linebacker on one of their Super Bowl runs in the playoffs at a very high level. So if anything, I think he's the one that's going to play that inside linebacker, and maybe with McGee. It just kind of depends on all that thing, how that works out. But you bring in Perkins now. You because Louisville is on a 1-year deal, and McGee is still an unknown. Right. So at least drafting him, it gives you some type of flexibility to look towards the future and the right now. Right. Same thing with this D tackle pick. Right. You got Payne on the one. Payne is on his last year of his deal. You got Kinlaw is going to be coming up on his last year next year. Right. And then you're going to have Newton too. Right. So you bring in another guy that help keep that defensive rotation solid. You help keeping it one of the strengths of the team. Right. And then Deshaun Singleton, which I think can be absolute starting safety in this league day one if he's put in the right system. Right. So this is the mock draft. I really like it. But my favorite pick from this mock draft is Parker Bradshaw from Alabama. He was at Indiana. He followed the Indiana guy to Alabama. He still played at a high level. I think he's a day one starter. Absolutely think he's a day one starter. So I absolutely love this. Yeah, he can cover. He can cover. Matter of fact, like Leo can cover too, right? And McGee, he's quick enough to do it, but he still needs to learn the nuances of it. But he can definitely go sideline to side. He can run up and down the sideline with somebody. So just like the speed and the covering, like you get all of that with these dudes. Like the linebackers should be so much better this year, at least on third down, because first and second down, you're going to have number 54. So just be prepared for that. That's the mock draft, man. That is my mock draft. All right. Let's get to. I don't want to do all NFL now. No, I'll come back to all NFL. Yeah, I'll do all NFL. That's not it. Hold up. No, actually, let's go ahead and do let's do Riddle News of the Day. You ready, Chuck?
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, we'll do Riddle News of the Day. So I got to get NFL back up. I thought I had it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, go ahead and get that set up. I'll do NFL. Boop, around the NFL.
Right.
All right. JSN signs a 4-year, $168.6 million contract. It makes him the highest paid wide receiver in the league, the highest paid wide receiver ever at $42 million. It doesn't matter if you think he's better than Chase. It doesn't matter if you think he's better than Jettas, like Cooper, like any. I said Cooper, Lamb. It doesn't matter if you think he's better than any of those. The fact of the matter is, if you're in that group, that top 5 group, if you're next, you're going to get paid more. It's as simple as that. You're going to be the highest paid. And they care about that. That's why if you go down and you look at the highest paid players at all these positions, it'd be by $0.1 million. Like $100,000, right? Because they want to be the highest paid, right? And Linderbaum, thinking about Linderbaum, $27 million. Do you know, bro, that not only he's the highest paid lineman ever, he also has a no franchise tag clause in his contract? Bro, he built them. He put them over a barrel, bro. He put them over a barrel, bro. Like I'm okay with it. Like if you want to pay, like I think he's getting paid. I think he's getting paid like $6 million more than Creed, and that's because all you need is a few teams to push the money up, right? You get 4 teams that's willing to bid, that'll push it up a couple million. One team drop out, push it up another million. The other team drop up, push it out another million. And then that last team drop out, push it up another million. And then you at $27 million. This has nothing to do with his value or his position. This has everything to do with the amount of teams that was willing, that wanted to pay him top money. It's just that the other 3 teams wasn't willing to get to 27 million. But they were willing to get to 24, 25, and 26. But the Raiders was willing to go to 27. So a lot of times we like you hear that, they shouldn't pay no center 27 million, blah, blah, blah. Well, if they didn't pay him 27 million, then the next team, which could have been us, right? They said we was in on the bid. We could have paid him $26 million. And if not us, the team that would have paid him 25 million. So like all you need is teams to bid on you. And once you get teams to bid on you, your price gonna continue to rise as long as they're still bidding. It's easy. Like, why is that so difficult to comprehend? Like, it's not about the positional value. It's not about the market. It's not about the player, the position. It ain't about none of that. It's about teams wanting your services. And if teams want your services, they have a specific cap that they're willing to go to procure those services. And for the most part, a lot of times, whoever wins the bid goes above what they really wanted to pay. But because they wanted them more than the other teams, they do it. So don't get mad. Don't hate the game. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. Right. Oh, do you see the Adidas rookie roster, Chuck? Yeah, you ain't got this on your Chuck's corner.
No.
Yeah.
It's a guy or a girl?
No, rookies. Rookie NFL players.
Oh, NFL. I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I gotta bookmark it.
We're about to get some 81s.
Check this list out. Fernando Mendoza, Arvell Reese, Carnell Tate, Caleb Downs, Ruben Bain, Jordan Tyson, Mekhi Lemon, Kenyon Sadiq, Jacob Rodriguez, Denzel Boston, Concepcion, D'Angelo Pons, Jonah Coleman, Elijah Surratt. Outside, is I think only 1, maybe 2 of those are 3rd round picks. All the rest of them, 2 of them is like 3rd round picks. 1 or 2 might be 2nd round, and the rest of them is all 1st round picks. Adidas. Now, I don't know what the previous years look like, but for me, that seems like that's a lot of players for Adidas, bro.
They must got some new cleats coming out.
I don't know. I got like 16 pair of new joints coming out. Shout out to Adidas, man. Shout out to Adidas. I don't really wear that. I got
you won't catch me wearing that.
I got 1 pair of some little soft drinks.
I got none.
Adam Schefter. Shout out to Adam Schefter for giving the Commanders fans that love hope today. He mentioned on the Pat McAfee show that he does not see as the, and one of the things that's so funny about that is that the headline doesn't reflect what it actually says in the video. And I think most people don't even listen to the full clip. Because twice in that clip, he specifically went in detail about today is March 23rd. And everything can change.
Folks don't care.
Everything can change. Right? But I'm like, listen, I ain't trying to hear all that. Like, we don't need all that context love at 7. He was like, he don't see the Titans getting love. He don't see the Giants getting love. He don't see the Browns. He said where he's looking at for love to land is at 7 with the Washington Commanders. And that's all the love folk needed to hear. The way Shefty can just change a whole mindset of fan bases in the NFL is insane. Because listen, tomorrow he can go on that same show and say the same thing about Arvell Reese, and the whole outlook will change. He's not going to do that. He's going to wait a couple weeks, right? And then he's going to do that. You're right, Teddy. Like, he don't know, man. Like, he don't know. You know what I'm saying? He probably talking to people. I'm sure he's talking to agents and all that, right? Like, the agents telling, yeah, man, like, we met with this player. They really want him. Like, bro, you doing the same thing we doing. But shout out to Shefty, man. Shout out to Shefty. Shaking and moving. All right, man, let's get to Riddle news of the day.
It's now time for Riddle news of the day.
Yo, what up? Riddle news of the day. I know we talked about this already at the beginning of the show, but I'm gonna just run it back and double tap real quick. So Team USA for flag football completely dominated that whole Saturday event. It was Fanatics Flag Football Fest. You had Tom Brady, Jaden Daniels, a bunch of other NFL superstars out there doing their thing. From start to finish, it was just Team USA completely steamrolling over the NFL guys and a couple of streamers out there as well. You had Logan Paul out there doing his thing. I Show Speed out there doing his thing. And apparently he locked up Devontae Smith on a couple plays, like 1 or 2. But hey, he's a fast guy. He's only like 22 years old from what I remember. But shout out to I Show Speed. And shout out to Fanatics for putting on this event. For all y'all that were worried, Jaden Daniels is okay. He was out there moving his hips like he was at a quinceañera or something like that. So, yeah, shout out to flag football. If you don't know, do your research. I'll put it like that. If you don't know about a sport, it's like curling. Nobody knew about curling probably before these Winter Olympics. Do your research. Watch a little bit. You can learn something. I hope they take away the 5v5 format and probably add a couple more players. I think that'll benefit the whole league. But we will see as we get closer to 2028 and we start lining up the personnel for our Olympic team. So shout out to Fanatics Fest. Real quick, it is National Puppy Day. So for all y'all that got puppies or super large puppies, shout out to them. I don't have you got any dogs, Deuce?
Hold on, wait a second. No, I don't. But it's not dog day. It's like puppy day.
Yeah, puppy. Puppies need love.
Now, I ain't gonna say nothing because you know how they feel about the dog. So I ain't gonna say nothing.
Oh yeah. So yeah, shout out to y'all and y'all puppies. Let's see what else we're going to dive into. All right, so this is for more of the younger audience. I don't know if y'all know. The older folks know about the show. Maybe your kids are watching this. But Regular Show, this was a very popular show a couple years ago. As you can see, it started about 15 years ago. The first episode aired. The last episode aired 9 years ago. And then May 11th, I believe, is the date is coming back. It's called Regular Show, The Lost Tapes. The first episode is going to be about an hour and a half special. I believe it's supposed to be 44 episodes. And yeah, I actually liked this show growing up. So if y'all are bored Saturday morning, you're crunching on your cereal or your fruit, whatever you eat in the morning, tune in, man. It's something to take you away from everything else that's going on in the world right now. But shout out to Regular Show. All right, now I'm going to put the puppy back up here because I don't have a picture for this situation because, Deuce, we just going to sit here and we're going to talk about it, right? So, Apparently, J. Cole popped in on Cameron while he was doing an interview a couple of days ago. I think it was Friday or Saturday.
I don't think he popped in at all.
You think it was scripted?
Oh, most definitely.
All right, so let me give y'all the backstory. So Cameron was talking on it wasn't his show, it was a different show, and all of a sudden he looks up, he stops talking, has the shock face, and J. Cole is standing right there confronting him, saying, "A lawsuit, bruh, lawyers." To give y'all even more backstory, Cameron went on another podcast and explained that he did a feature for J. Cole way back in 2024. And J. Cole promised basically that he would be on Cam's podcast. It is what it is. So Cam's trying to hook everything up, and every time he would hit up Cole, it was always something. First, it started with the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef that Cole said he doesn't really want to do an interview right now because he feels like he has to talk about that situation. But Cam was trying to tell him, no, if we do an interview, you don't have to talk about it. And then basically Cole backed out of that one. A couple moments later, then it was another time to do an interview, and J. Cole basically hit him up and said, hey, it's just not a good time. I need to get everything in my life situated together because I'm about to work on some new music. Cam's like, okay, I'll hit you at another time. So Cam hits him at another time, and then J. Cole, what does he do? He backs out again. Now, this is sort of awkward for J. Cole because he seems a pretty stand-up guy. So in my opinion, I think he was just putting his work before interviews. But basically, it got to a point where Cam sued J. Cole for $500K last year. $500K, dudes. Because he didn't pop up on none of the interviews. So tomorrow, Tuesday, March 24th, they're going to have a sit-down on, I think it's called the It's Free podcast, and they're going to hash it out. So if that's something you want to tune into, you can definitely tap into it and see what's going on.
So like they had so the thing is that Killer was like he wasn't really gonna go through with it, right? He just like he wanted to get his attention, right? So Cole was kind of like, hey, you know, you're gonna do the lawyers, or you just hit me up, like we can hash it out, blah blah blah. But then Cole was like, he had to think about it, like, you know, if this was me, like, you think I'm just like dissing them, this and that, because like it really looks like you can't just ask somebody to do a feature at no charge, and all they say was, look, just come holler at me on my show, and you ghost them, right? Like you you can't do that, Cole. You know what I'm saying? So like, but I absolutely think like they didn't really have like a beef or whatever, but it was absolutely a thing, right? But this whole like him walking in and like all that stuff was he ain't just walking that man's house like that and just pop up to his podcast, because that was the what is it with Flea, whatever, with Flea, something like that. One of Cam's podcasts, Joan. It's not. It is me. It's not the Dream Rabion. It's the Joan. Just Cam. Hanging with Flea or talk with Flea, something like that. One of them names. So they had that during the day. So maybe it's going to air tomorrow. I saw a little bit of it earlier today, but shout out to them, man. Shout out to them for hashing it.
Yeah. W album promotion, if that's what it's coming down to.
Exactly.
I only listened to it once, but good album.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we got for the news today, man.
All right, man.
It's now time for Riddle News of the Day.
All right, we are back. The question of the day. Appreciate Belante for coming through, showing love. DawgTired definitely pieced it up behind the scenes, but it was definitely hilarious. Yeah, you gonna walk in that jump like, bro, come on. Cam talking, all of a sudden he walk in, Cam look up,
like you seen the other figure or something.
Hey, like, hey, what's up, man? Like, whatever, bro. Like, come on, bro. Whatever, bro. Question of the day. Joe McGee done enough for you for them not? No. Like, I absolutely say no. Robert Ramsey on X says I would say no. Promise, yes. Again, hopeism, right? If enough to not draft someone, I can say that he barely played. 1981 trade, he says, nope. If one is there that they like, draft them. McGee beats him out, fine. Like, I like that thought process, right? Like,
Yep.
if you see Perkins there, or if Sonny Styles is there, or another linebacker later on, if he's the best player available, draft him, right? Like, that's the linebacker room is not a room where I would just say, no, I have this player and this player, I'm not drafting, right? Like, you still draft them and you let them rock it out, right? Dre said, nope, he's gifted for sure and tackles pretty well, but he has work to do on coverage and understands where he needs to be on the field. He will get there though. And it's funny because Trey to say he's suspect against the run. So like our eyes tell us different things when we watch tape. You know what I'm saying? But what you think, man? Anybody in the chat? What do y'all think? What you think, Chuck?
Yeah, I don't think he's done like enough. I think he's just shown flashes of what he can do. It's a lot of promise there, but then again, we tap into hopeism. So I believe if it came down to it and he got, thrusted into the role, I think he could probably he should be at a point now where he could probably learn on the fly. I feel like that's what was his name a couple years ago? He's on the Steelers. Cole Holcomb. I feel like he sort of got thrusted into the role and he became, a solid linebacker. He's not like a elite linebacker, but he was definitely like he always led the team in tackles for us before Cam Curl came along. So definitely, I think he can learn and grow and progress. But we'll have to see this year. I'll put it like that because I don't want to knock him, but not yet. But we will see.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. We'll see, man. All right. Let's get to we'll do Mike later. You ready for the corner?
We could take it there.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me adjust real quick. All right. Put this camera on. All right. What up, y'all? Welcome to the corner where we talk about a little bit of anything and everything, but I'm here, so I'm probably going to talk about women's sports. First thing I want to talk about and get out the way is a bunch of shoe informations for the women's side. First, starting off with Juju Watkins, right? So Juju Watkins is getting her first signature shoe with Nike this summer, becoming the first athlete to have a signature pair under LeBron James NXXT line. I guess that stands for next. So shout out to Juju. She's not the only one that signed, I guess, under another athlete per se that Nike is doing. Kevin Durant also signed Madison Booker under his line, but I think he's under a whole different process because it's like 35 ventures or something like that. So shout out to both of them getting their shoe deal done. Well, Juju has a shoe deal. Madison Booker is just an athlete under Kevin Durant. Another shoe information, Angel Reese is releasing another colorway of her patented Angel Reese ones. This is called Unapologetically Angel. This is for a shout out to her podcast and also her persona, basically. She always says she's very unapologetic. So shout out to her. They're coming out March 27th. So if you like them, you can definitely go pick those up. Now, I think all of her shoes are online. I was running around in the mall this weekend looking for them Katie peanut butter and jellies, and I saw a bunch of Asia Wilson shoes, but I didn't see many Reebok shoes. So I'm not sure if you just got to go to a direct outlet or if you just got to get them online. It's probably easier to get them online. The only difference is you can't try them on. If they're the wrong size, you got to sit them back. So shout out to Angel Reese for that. Real quick before we deep dive into March Madness, let's see. Yeah, we can talk about it. Let's talk about Call of Duty real quick, folks. So Call of Duty this weekend had a big explosion all over the gamer headlines because they brought back Modern Warfare 19, basically is what they kept calling it. It was the Modern Warfare, the remake that was released in 2019. And basically they cut back on all the multiplayer servers and everyone got back on, started playing, and they kept saying it was the best thing ever and how all the new Call of Duties are bad. But a lot of people are seeing through the smoke. They're saying Call of Duty is just prepping for Modern Warfare 4. To be pushed probably this summer. I think there was a date like June 8th that someone leaked, but they're not sure. But a lot of people are seeing right through the smoke screen. Me personally, when I played this game, it was good at first until all the cheaters got mixed into it. Because originally, this was when Call of Duty was still with Treyarch. Now they're with Activision. And Treyarch was not really all that good of, nixing the cheaters and getting them out the way. So let me know in the chat or in the comments when y'all rewatch this, how you feel about the recent surge about Modern Warfare 19. Let me know what your favorite Call of Duty was, and Thursday we can chat it up and talk about it. All right, we're going to go nose first into this March Madness. That's what's going on. We'll start with the men's side, actually, and I'll give you a rundown of what's going on. I'll make it real quick. I'm not going to give you all the old scores. I'm going to give you all the games of what's to come. So basically the Sweet 16 for the men, you have Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, Purdue, Iowa, Nebraska, Michigan, Alabama, Illinois, Houston, Tennessee, and Iowa State. That's your Sweet 16. I'm pretty sure a lot of people's brackets got busted over the weekend when Florida lost to Iowa. So shout out to Iowa for beating that Florida team. But we will see how that turns out when they start the Sweet 16. Now, diving right back into the women's side, we had a sort of a semi-upset on the women's side. We had the Virginia Cavaliers are making their first Sweet 16 appearance since 2000. 2000. They ended up beating Iowa Hawkeyes. It was a very close game. Came down to a couple of shots. They had double overtime in this game, actually. So it was a great game to watch. Shout out to Virginia for getting that dub over Iowa and going to the Sweet 16. We will see how they do over there. Giving you the rundown of what happened today and the future for the Sweet 16 for the women's side. UConn ended up beating Syracuse. They blew them out basically, like 98-45. So UConn will play North Carolina because North Carolina beat Maryland 74-66. And then on the other side of the bracket, we have UCLA and Oklahoma State. They will play later on tonight, and I'll give you an update Thursday on how that goes. Minnesota ended up beating Ole Miss, which was sort of considered an upset, but Minnesota is also a good team. So if you've been keeping up with Minnesota, it probably wasn't an upset for you. Notre Dame has been steamrolling. They kept it going against Ohio State. Ohio State hung around for as long as they could, but ultimately Hannah Hidalgo is who she is, and she put on a show. Duke beat Baylor 69-46. So Notre Dame will play Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt just got done with their game against Illinois, which I told y'all earlier, 75-57. That's going to be a good matchup. We'll talk about that Thursday. And then Duke will play LSU because LSU beat Texas Tech 101-47. So LSU is rolling. And we'll talk about LSU Thursday because I don't think they are who they say they are. The live game we have going right now, we have South Carolina versus USC. South Carolina is actually demolishing them 62-29. Shout out to the Gamecocks. They will end up playing Oklahoma, who is a very good team, and that could be an upset matchup for the Gamecocks. So we'll pay attention to that. Oklahoma beat Michigan State 77-71. On the other side of the bracket, we have Texas. They blew out Oregon 100-58. That's the team that Madison Booker is on, and also the team that beat South Carolina earlier this year. So watch for that. Texas will play Kentucky because Kentucky beat West Virginia today, 74-73. Definitely was a nail biter, was a great game, but West Virginia ended up missing the last shot to win the game. Keeping on going, TCU beat Washington 62-59. TCU will now play Virginia, who has been the upset candidate, as you see, because they beat Iowa, and before they beat Iowa, they beat Georgia, which broke a lot of people's brackets early. Ending it off, we have Louisville going against Michigan. Louisville beat Alabama 69-68, another nail-biter game. And Michigan beat NC State in another blowout, 92-63. So a lot going on, a lot prepping for these Sweet 16s. I will update y'all again Thursday with what's going on. And what ESPN does, you have a second chance bracket when the Sweet 16 starts. So if your bracket is already busted, they will give you another chance. So choose wisely, make sure you do your research. But then again, it is March, so you never know what is going to happen. All right, that's all I got for the corner today. Remember, whenever you leave the lab, you can definitely come down and kick it with us at the corner. Appreciate y'all.
All right, Mike on deck this week. We have wide receiver coach Cam White will be in the lab on tomorrow, going over the wide receivers. Now we've seen a lot of him on the timeline on some other shows, break down these wide receivers. But I got some questions. I got some different type of questions to ask him about some of these upcoming wide receivers and some that's currently on our roster now. Also, RITL Radio Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. And also be on the lookout, which is going to be another show that's going to be broadcast through RITL Radio that's only on X. Is our All One show. And our All One show is where we talk about real life situations, real life problems, real life issues, real world stuff that's trending day of. So absolutely check that. Be on the lookout for that. That's going to be on Wednesday nights at 9:30. So we're looking to debut that next week. We got all the hosts and all that stuff down packed. So now we just need to work out logistics and all that other good stuff. So be on the lookout for that. It's All One. It's going to be on RITL Radio. It's only going to be on X. And then Thursday, back into the draft. A lot of draft talk. Devin Jackson, NFL draft writer, is going to be on with us, just talking all things the draft. But that's Mike on deck for the next few days. Remember, if you're not subscribed, please do. Please like, share, comment. Even if you're watching this show after it's already gone, please continue to comment. I will appreciate it. Subscribe, RedZoneinthelab 101. Join the RITL community for all 22 different perks, access to different types of things, tickets, all that other giveaways, all that other good stuff. Also tap into redzoneinthelab.com if you want some Commanders merch. Absolutely check that website out. Kim says, "Hey Chuck."
Hey Kim.
Outside of that, what else you got? Oh, you got an echo.
I got an echo.
But outside of that, what you got, Chuck?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm all good, man. Good show. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. Make sure y'all definitely share, like, subscribe, send it to whoever you want to, friends, family, cat, dog, whoever can listen to YouTube and share it. On my side, I do stream on TikTok again. I try during the week, at least 3 times a week during the week to stream different video games, Call of Duty, Madden, 2K, Apex. I do play with viewers. I'm not famous, so we can definitely get some games in whenever y'all want. I'll probably be doing some giveaways here in the upcoming future, depending on what games are coming out. So definitely be on the lookout. If you got people that play video games, you got little nieces, nephews, cousins, whoever plays. If you yourself play video games, definitely be on the lookout. That's all I got. You muted, dude.
We call that pull to St. Henry. Appreciate Chuck and DawgTired for helping me produce the show. Thank all of you for taking the time to join us. We know your time is very valuable. for you to spend it with us. We absolutely appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart.